right, hello everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters, listening to PS. This is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 372, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. But before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PS is awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. And you can check out our trophy list on the PSN. I'm Anchorless_81, and Jake is JakeSaw01. You can send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with your friends, and don't forget to rate us. For just $1 on Patreon, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail and a shout-out on the show. So visit patreon.com/PS This is awesome to support us. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today?
All things considered, I'm doing okay. With everything that's been going on with our dog, we finally ended up losing her on Friday, which was probably one of the hardest things I've had to go through in as long as I can remember. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's been a bit of a tough couple of days, but just kind of, it's weird. Like, you think about, I've been lucky enough. I can't speak for you, but I've been lucky enough to not have to deal with many grief-worthy events in my life. Like, for example, only one of my grandparents has passed away. I'm 37 years old. I still have 3 grandparents. And the one that passed away was very sick for a long time. So it was kind of like everybody was just sort of waiting for it to happen. So I don't want to say it was easy, but it wasn't like this big shock kind of thing. But yeah, like, having to put our pup down was really, it was troubling twofold. One, just because obviously you lose an animal that you love. She was 9 years old. Yeah. But something that never occurred to me was like how much it would weigh on my conscience having to make that decision.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to be honest with you, I'm really not trying to bring the podcast down. Like, I'm not speaking from like woe is me kind of like way or anything.
I'm surprised you can even talk about it. I wouldn't even be able to talk about it at this point.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was an absolute fucking mess Friday and Saturday, and Sarah's been a little bit. Understandably, she's been a little bit more upset than I have. I mean, I don't want to say that, it's just like everybody processes their emotions differently, and I've just been thinking about it from an intellectual perspective, just because, like I said, I haven't really had much grief in my life. How, like, today was my first day back at work. I took Friday off.
Yeah, of course.
Because we kind of knew it was coming. And then today was my first day back. And it was interesting to me, like, how even though I felt okay, how there must still be a lot of like underlying shit going on because my fuse was so fucking short today. Yeah. Just like everybody that I was talking to, no matter what they said, it was just annoying the shit out of me. Like, I was really struggling to like deal with all like the petty bullshit at work, and like I just wanted to like close my office door and just tell everybody to leave me alone. Yeah. But like, I kind of tried to just sort of think about it and process it, and it ended up working okay. So, but that said, in less depressing but also still kind of depressing news is it fucking snowed last night. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Which is annoying. And it's going to snow again tonight. It's going to be 35 degrees tomorrow, and then on Wednesday it's going to be 50. Like, this is the type of like spring, dude. And right now, just like last year, right now, freaking Tennessee is completely underwater. Yeah. Like, people have been killed by floods and shit. Like, man, the weather is, I know every week it seems like we talk about how crazy the weather is, but it's just like, it's one of those things that, I feel like we've gotten so much rain in the past. Like, it hasn't rained a lot, like meaning a lot of days in a row. But it seems like when it has rained, it's been like a torrential downpour. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we've gotten so much rain in a short period of time that like my entire yard has standing water in it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty bananas. But I will say one of the things that I'm super excited about is that I finished up my hockey season for the year. So that's done. And I will play probably on Wednesday, just like one last pickup game before they take the ice off in Meadville, just as kind of like it's kind of like a lazy kind of just fun time. And then, dude, the more I think about it, the more excited I am to, one, try to play some more golf this year, because I haven't really played much the last few years. And then two, to get out on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Whether it's just riding, on the street, or taking my dirt bike or my sport bike out at the various tracks or whatever. Just one of the things that like with like the last couple weeks having with our dog, her being sick. One of the things the last couple weeks we've done is just every nice day, basically. We've taken her outside. We've gone for walks. We've done all this stuff. And, dude, just being outside when it's sunny out and it's not, like, biting cold, it's just, like, it's amazing how much it recharges you. And I just I'm really looking forward to it. Though I will say, one thing I'm not looking forward to, I can't remember, I don't know if we touched on this last week or not, but did we touch on the ticks last week?
Yeah, you brought it up.
Yeah, so like, man, I'm kind of worried about that this year. But other than that, I don't know. It's kind of a long-winded way of saying that, like, I'm all right. I'm all right. I've been a lot better, but I'm not. I've been a lot worse too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It does suck. It's a tough thing. Loss and grief are weird. I've lost a lot of people now. Family. I still have both my parents. My siblings are still here. I've lost a lot of extended family, aunts, uncles. I don't have a single living grandparent at this point. So I've been to all their funerals. I have friends who've passed, regardless the reason, I think, there's a lot of things that can happen in our age group, but vehicle accidents, drug stuff, self-inflicted things. I've seen a lot, and I've been to a lot. I had a coworker, somebody that I supervised at work, died on a weekend, and had to go in Monday, and they weren't at work. And this is someone I just hung out with Friday before, at work, talked shop with. And grief is a weird thing, man. I've obviously been a part of losing dogs. Haven't lost a real close dog. Charlie's the closest dog. I mean, he's my dog. So I just, there was always a family dog.
Right.
Two, I think. There was Trooper, who was a golden retriever who died, and then there was Shadow, who lived the longest freaking life a German Shepherd golden retriever should ever live, because my dad built a elevator for him out of a game hoist, that you hoist dead deer with. He literally made an elevator because Shadow could no longer climb stairs. He wasn't in pain, he just couldn't use his back legs. So they'd get him into this freaking elevator and wheel him up to the where he hung out in the house, and he learned how to use the elevator, and he was completely fine with it. It was really a testament to how much my dad loved that dog. So hearing him talk about, he would kill me if I repeated it, but I'm going to say it. Hearing him talk about having to put Shadow down, I'm just dreading the day I lose Charlie, man. So I feel for you.
It's crazy because like I had dogs growing up that had to be either died or had to be put down or whatever, and so not to say that wasn't sad, but like it seems like I didn't expect it to be completely different whenever it's a dog that you raised yourself from when they were a puppy. They were fully your responsibility, like they were part of your family. Like
it's a bond,
because obviously
dude.
and we don't have kids, so someone at work was telling me that she's had a few pets pass away.
Yeah.
And she said the dog that she had that passed away before they had kids was the worst, because they're almost like your
they are
like your
they are
child,
your
right?
kid,
So
yeah.
like it's real tough. But anyway, we don't have to.
Yeah,
keep
no,
on
I don't
this
mean to keep drilling down.
Yeah.
I was just, you brought up loss, and I was just thinking about like how many people have died
Yeah.
in my family now at this point, and I'm just dreading the day when a parent goes. That's gonna be, it's gonna just absolutely wreck me. I'm gonna be out of commission for a year and a half, probably at least.
Yeah, it's
gonna just wreck me. But anyways, that being said, I had a good weekend. Recording this on Monday, for those who don't know, the uneducated, this podcast airs on Wednesdays for everybody, and usually a day early if you support us on Patreon. But recording this Monday, we did Hero Quest last night, which would have been Sunday, and that was fun. And we're getting through the Ogre Horde. I thought I had the heroes dead to rights. They squiggled out of it. It was a tough map, man. They were running out of potions and all kinds of shit, and I was whittling them away. This and the Frozen Horror are the two of the harder campaigns. This is one that was only introduced in Europe, so they finally with the re-release of Hero Quest, they gave us the Ogre Horde campaign as a re-release to the United States. So it's a quest pack I've never played, and it is fun. I've got it all painted up except for a couple little things. But I did that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I saw this cover band play on Friday night at this dive bar in Oil City. And I was just like, this is interesting. They were friends of some people that I know. And they were a three-piece, so I'll bring this up because I think it's interesting to say. They were good. Like, they covered like some Goo Goo. They weren't like your tradition. They covered Goo Goo Dolls. They did they had a female fronted band, so their female vocalist actually had a really good voice. But then the backup guitar player, or the only guitar player, was her husband. They're called Crush, and they're married. The bass player was great. The drummer was just kind of, I'm not trying to, like, being a musician, I just pick out the drummer was very enthusiastic, but was very just average at the same time. And I'm not firing shots. They probably make more money than I'll ever make in a single gig. They did a 4-hour set. I stayed for the first hour, and then I was like, peace. Cool to see what you're about. But the guitar player would do, like, the backup vocals. And I had to keep myself from like kind of chuckling because he would go falsetto and do like female backup vocals, almost like I would do at practice. Like, he would do that, but it actually was in tune. It sounded good. But then then they would play the next song and he'd be singing the Goo Goo Dolls, and then they'd be doing another song and it would be like some 80s song. And like, they had a really good repertoire of songs. They were good. They were a three-piece. But what was interesting was a lot of those songs are 4-piece band songs, so they took the time to record the other part for all of these cover songs, and they played to a click, and it wasn't the actual recording from the real song playing in the background. It was like that guitar player had sat in a studio and recorded the other riffs and like all by himself. And then they were just loaded, and they played, with that as the backing track, was just his guitar riffs as the fourth guitar. I was like, wow, that's a lot of fucking commitment for a cover band. I was impressed. I was like, at that point, I'd just get a fucking a backup guitarist. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to sit and do all those extra things and rig everything to a click. But anyways, I did that Friday. I digress. I'm not really into cover bands at all, but they were good at what they did. And, gosh, I don't remember what I did. Didn't really do a whole lot on Saturday. I fell asleep early. What was Sunday? Sunday was Hero Quest. Here we are. It's Monday. I had to sit on an interview panel today at work, and that's always kind of my whole day when I do that, interviewing people for jobs. And was what it was, man. just interesting. But that's where we're at. I haven't gotten any gaming in, unfortunately. Oh, what I am doing though, let me cover this in that, because we don't have a whole lot of news points. I started. Well, you guys know I was playing Octopath Traveler 2. I haven't touched that since last episode. I just haven't had a chance. I still like the game. I got nothing negative to say about it. I left it exactly where I left it last episode, so I haven't made any progress. But the reason is twofold. The main reason is honestly Bosch Legacy, featuring Titus Welliver and this girl who should have been cast as Ellie in The Last of Us for this season. She plays a cop. Let me pull her name up, Jake. I want you to look this girl up, man.
Okay.
Bosch Legacy. I've never seen anyone throw her name out for being Ellie for Last of Us Season 2, but she would be a dead ringer. It's ridiculous. All right, just look her up. Just type in here. I'll just send it to you. How do I copy image here? I'm gonna put it in the chat here. Here, coming your way. Look at that person. Dead ringer.
Yeah, I could see that.
Dead ringer for Ellie, no doubt. Like every time I see this, her name is Madison Lintz, Lintz. Not the best actor, but also actress, but also good. One of my favorite series is Bosch. Bosch Concluded. It's a TV series. Harry Bosch is a character created by the guy who did the Lincoln Lawyer books. Gosh, what is his name? It's on top of my head. Famous author, very successful. I got a signed copy of one of his books for my dad for Christmas. Gosh, who wrote Lincoln Lawyer? I'll tell you 1 second. Michael Connolly. He's a crime writer, you know. My dad's retired police officer, so it was a great gift. I was part of the Amazon or the Barnes & Noble's book club, and they were selling signed Michael Connolly books, you know, for an extra fee. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's a cool Christmas gift. You know, I suggest that if you have any people in your family that are readers, sign up to the Barnes & Noble's book club for $50. For a year, you have access to signed novels by the author. It's just fucking cool to have in your book collection. But he wrote The Lincoln Lawyer, and he wrote Bosch, and he has a couple other spin-offs that he's written. He's a very well-established author. Bosch ran its course on Amazon Prime. It's like 5-6 seasons. Fantastic. And I thought it was over, and then they did a spin-off called Bosch Legacy, which features his daughter who joins the police force. And now Bosch is a private eye detective, and he's got connects all over the police force, and he's got CIs, confidential informants that he's put in the jail who've come out who want to help him. He's got this hacker guy that works with him. He always finds himself getting in the vice grips between right and wrong and skating the fucking line of like what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. He's always trying to catch his guy, right? And solve the crime, save the family, find the murder. He's great. And so now there's a whole new element in Bosch Legacy where he has to kind of like walk the rope a little straighter because he's got a daughter in the force now, and he doesn't want to taint her reputation by doing dumb shit. But he can't help himself. So it's really fucking good. Bosch Legacy is this is the last season of it. It's come out. New episodes every Thursday. I didn't realize it was out, and then I realized it was out last week. And I'm like, this is all I'm doing. They're hour episodes. I'm like 5 episodes in, and it's so good. It's not.
Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Is it like a drama? Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's crime drama probably. I would start at the very beginning of just Bosch. Watch all the Bosch, and then go to Bosch Legacy. There's only my parents love it. Their friends love it. I love it. My buddy Murph, who plays Hero Quest with us, is the only other person in my wheelhouse that watches fucking Bosch, and he loves it. And I think once you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is a fucking good show. It's just like, I don't know who these writers are, like, that do the actual show, but I will say this. I've never once been confused about what's happening. I'm always interested in any story. It's very good with character development, so you really get connected to all these characters, right? Even the criminals you kind of like and you empathize with them because, you know, some of the shit going on. So like you get thrown into this weaving narrative, and it's all wrapped around. It comes back around Bosch and his desk, and he gets thrown into shit. But he's got family trouble too, you know. And he's just trying to hold the fort down and be a good detective. But like, he's the guy who is going to cross the line once in a while to get the job done. And like, it's that MO, but it's so good. And you're like, but sometimes you think he's going to cross the line, but he doesn't. And he keeps on the straight and narrow and doesn't do the thing you think he's going to do. And you're like, wow, you know, this guy's got integrity, you know, but does he? So the whole time, but he's like a good guy. He's like a war vet too. So like, such a cool character. Stephen King, huge fan of the Bosch show, had tweeted and said, Titus Welliver is the only actor that can pull off this character as well as he does. He's so fucking good, dude. I love this character, and I just love the show so much. I'm surprised I haven't really talked about it on our podcast before, but it's a high recommendation, and you gotta just let it. You gotta get a couple deep. It's not gonna speak to you on the first episode, but once you start watching it, you can't stop. It's just every narrative is good. It's
Maybe
it's like
give it a try.
Yeah, it's like a serious Seinfeld. It's like, you know, like in Seinfeld, the 30-minute episodes. Something happens here, and by the end, it comes full circle. But yet all these crazy stories that all interacted and all kind of wrapped up nice at the end of every episode of Seinfeld. It's like that, but it's crime drama, and you're like, oh shit, okay, that's cool. You know, you're just like, oh wow, that's awesome.
Dude, there are 25 books in this series.
The Bosch series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. This guy the guy who writes it is a powerhouse. I mean, if you look at Michael Connelly, he's one of the most profound crime writers of our time. That's why I was surprised I couldn't remember his name. But he's huge. He's huge. He has
written 41 books.
Yeah, the guy's on fire. And they're all good. From what I understand, they're all good. I've read 2 of his books. I read one of the Lincoln Lawyer novels, and then this... I work with some guys who are... who have really cool titles, right? One of the guys I work with is a special agent, and he recommended a Michael Connelly book to me, and I read it. It's called The Reversal, is actually what I read. It's called The Reversal. It was a great book. It was the first Michael Connelly book I had ever read. And it's about Mickey Haller, and he was a defense lawyer. And it was so good. And, man, all these characters, though, they make, from all of his books, make random weird appearances in the Bosch TV show. But Titus Welliver, if you don't know who Titus Welliver is, he's a badass actor. He's cool, man. He might have been in he's got a ton of tattoos too, which is weird, and they're all random shit, which I admire because it's not like he's got a pretty sleeve. Like, it's just a bunch of random shit all over his arms. This dude's legit. He's real deal. I think I think in real life Titus Welliver came from like a bad area or something, and like he's had a really interesting life. But he's a great actor. I mean, he's Bosch. I mean, no one else can do it. I'm serious. No one else can be him. Perfect casting. It's a scenario of the perfect casting. I digress. I'm into it. I'm probably not going to get back to Octopath Traveler until I catch up on Bosch. I got to get more sleep in my life also. But with that out of the way, games we are playing, I'm not playing anything. I already told you what I'm doing. I'm watching Bosch. Jake, are you playing anything?
Yeah, so I'm still playing I'm like maybe 20 hours into Jedi Survivor. Still playing it, still enjoying it. It's just kind of like going along. It's nothing that's really like grabbing me, but I'm enjoying it enough that I am kind of sticking with it. But I guess new this week is that on Saturday, Sarah and I were just kind of lounging around, not really in the mood to do much of anything. So I was like, I want to watch something just kind of crazy. So I put on the director's cut of the original Robocop.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Because I had mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was that I was interested in playing Rogue City because it had come out on PS Plus for the month of April.
Yeah.
So I think it was last week. So we watched Robocop on Saturday, and dude, I forgot how fucking awesome that movie is.
Yeah, it's great.
And excuse me. I can understand, like, I feel like I remember not liking it that much, and I can understand why people might not like it, but if you just enjoy it as, like, a campy kind of, like, funny sort of, like, romp that's semi-serious, I think it's a good time. And so I watched that, and then Sunday, so I guess it would have been yesterday morning, I started Rogue City, and dude, this game's pretty fucking good. I'm actually shocked. It is by all intents and purposes RoboCop the game for fucking real. It takes place after the events of the first movie. Some of the characters from the first movie, I mean, obviously other than RoboCop, like Lewis and I'm blanking on the name of the guy that runs the police precinct. And some of the others, like, they're all in it. Obviously, it's not the same voice actors as was in the movie. So, like, that part's a little bit jarring because I just watched the movie. And then, like, you go into the game and the voice actors are different. But the characters are there. But, dude, it is so fucking RoboCop. I mean, you're like a tank with a gun just kind of walking around. You walk into these rooms. You, like, breach fucking doorways. And then you're just mowing dudes down, freaking all this, like, gore, blowing body parts off, like, shooting guys in the dick. Like, all this stuff is going on. And then, yeah, you can, like, when you press the, like, R2 or L2 button, like you would normally aim down the sights, what it does is it does, like, a partial zoom. And then, like, it brings up, like, the green crosshairs on the screen and it, like, highlights the fucking bad guys and shit. Like, it's dude, I'm not lying. It's so cool. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that it's the best game in the world. I mean, it is very obviously still like an A tier game. Like, it's not like, but it's pushing up on AAA. I mean, the biggest drawbacks are, like, yeah, some of the character models aren't the greatest. Some of the voice acting's not the greatest. You could argue maybe that, like, the AI, the enemy AI isn't the greatest, but like fulfilling the RoboCop fantasy, it does such a wonderful job. I am really, really enamored with it so far. And, like, it's this really cool, like, if you remember the movie, at the beginning, RoboCop doesn't remember who he was when he was alive.
Right.
The Officer Alex Murphy doesn't remember who that is or whatever. And by the end, he sort of like, he knows that he was Alex Murphy, but, like, he doesn't, like, he feels these things, but he doesn't remember being that person. So he's, like, starting to get some of that back.
Yeah.
And in the game, he's starting to have, like, these sort of, like, intrusive thoughts / malfunctions about his, like, human life. And, like, they, like, in order to try and sort of figure it out, they pair you with, like, this human psychologist that's trying to figure out what's going on with the human side of RoboCop. And, like, and then there's all this other shit going on related to that. but yeah, it's cool. Like there's like you just travel to these very small open kind of sections, and you have like main missions while you're there. But then there are like these little side missions that you can accomplish too to like get yourself extra experience and upgrade Robocop even better with things like the ability to do better police analysis on evidence that you find that like allow you to, you know, automatically unlock safes without knowing the passcode and like shit like that. And there's this arcadey element too where they like Robocop kind of fucks up in the opening mission of the game. He like kind of malfunctions a little bit. And so they force you to put this like performance evaluation tracker like inside of Robocop's head. So like at the end of every major mission, they bring you back and you get like this performance grade. It's really arcadey where it like gives you a grade level, and then like based on how you did in certain areas, it gives you additional experience points or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that like says, oh, you lose if you get a bad grade, but it's like if you get a good grade, then you get more experience to be able to upgrade your character better and yada yada. It's not that deep. It's just like, oh, do you want to have Robocop be, you know, more of a tank, like he has much more armor and then he's able to use like the shield mechanic and all this shit? Or do you want to be more of like a detective? You can like put points in like the ability to like I said, scan documents and do all this shit. There's even like dialogue stuff where you can like you can use dialogue to like solve cases and things. It's not super deep, but there is some of that there. And then like the only other system that they have that's pretty interesting is like, you know, Robocop has that iconic pistol that's like it's like the semi machine gun kind of pistol that he has.
Yeah.
And you can find these motherboards for the pistol, and when you install the motherboard, it brings up like this circuit diagram, and you find all these chips that you can put in, and based on how you put the chips in, it gives the pistol like buffs and debuffs on certain things like damage or reload speed or like single shot versus fully automatic. And it's a cool little thing that you don't have to do. Like you don't have to do it at all, but it's like, oh, if you find these things, you can kind of tailor the pistol to work like the default pistol, which has unlimited ammo, to work the way that you want. So like there are all these other guns you could pick up, like assault rifles and pistols and submachine guns and like heavy machine guns and shotguns and everything. But you always have your alternate is always the Robocop pistol. And like if you're someone who's more of like an assault rifle guy, you could tailor the pistol to almost work an assault rifle in terms of like how it fires and how much damage it does based on these mother you find. And then you can focus your time picking up like, I don't know, like grenade launchers or shotguns or like more like specialized weapons to kind of be sort of like the, you know, the antithesis of that, to kind of tailor your play style. But yeah, dude, as a PS Plus game, this is the first like monthly game that I've played in a while. Not gonna lie, man, it is fun. I will say that, like Robocop as a character, like they're very true to how he is in the movie, and it doesn't really suit my play style, in terms of like first person shooters. Like he walks slow, he can't jump, he can't crouch, like it's literally just like a walking tank basically. And so there are areas where you get overwhelmed and you have to use like cover and stuff by just literally walking behind things and stuff. And sometimes that could be a little bit frustrating, but that's more like my preference in FPS games, not necessarily a drawback of this game in particular. But yeah, I guess I've been going for a while. Fred, I don't know if you had any interest in trying this game out, but it's fun. And for might as well download it and try it. Interested in playing a first-person shooter, it's kind of unique, like anything I've ever played before.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try it out, for sure. There's a little bit of glitching going on with your audio, but I think I could pick it all up. I'm sure the listeners could hear too. I don't know if it was my computer or yours, but we were getting some glitching. But yeah, no, dude, it looks good. And I remember not being allowed to watch Robocop when it came out because it was so violent and there was a lot of F-bombs in it.
Yeah.
I remember that being a thing. I do remember watching it eventually. And I just wondered like how a game like Robocop would translate as a VR title. That could be really cool.
Oh, that would be neat. Yeah. It could be almost like a first-person shooter mixed with like that like Batman detective game where you're like solving all the crimes with your gadgets and shit. It could be cool. I could see that.
Yeah. I think it would just be cool to zoom in on somebody and get all the crosshairs in VR. It'd be like you had the Robocop helmet on, you know?
It would be rad for sure.
Cool. All right. Well, there's no listener feedback. LJ had something to say, but I'm not going to repeat it on the podcast. He just cracked wise about the Steelers, and he goes, there's a rumor going around. I guess I'll say it, that why the Steelers don't have cheerleaders. And he said, because there ain't any pretty ladies in Pittsburgh. He's just being an asshole. That's funny. It's an LJ thing.
It's not really relevant. It's not really relevant.
Yeah.
To the podcast, but
we did talk about that, to be fair. But yeah, and that is
about them not having about them not having cheerleaders. Last
I brought
week
it up. Yeah,
not having cheerleaders. Yeah, that's right.
But I will say that is the second reason why I haven't played any games is that I have access to the Pirates baseball, and we've been getting our asses kicked. But we did, for all it's worth, we beat the Yankees last night. And I believe we're playing the Reds today. Reds or the Cardinals? I don't remember who we're playing, but I'm going to try to catch some of that game tonight after the show. But yeah, the Yankees have a very, very rich team, and it's just nice to beat them in extra innings. And because, it's not so much that it matters to us that we beat them. I just like embarrassing the Yankees. However way I can, even if it's just one win on our plate and one L for them, because they beat us in the series, but they have so much more money than Pittsburgh, and they have some of the best players. So we beat them.
The owner of the Pirates actually spent fucking money. They might be able to do something.
Yeah, that's true, dude. You're still glitching out. I wonder what the hell's happening. I don't know why.
It's weird because you're completely smooth, and I don't know why that would be.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It might be an encoder issue or something on my... I don't know what it is. But we have very few news points to talk about. But that's okay. Game news has been kind of light lately, and Jake and I have had a lot of stuff going on the behind the curtains. So we're still trying to deliver the podcast the best way we can. And we'll get into the first news point here. April 12th. Bungie is set to finally give us a glimpse further into their game Marathon. This is going to come to us by way of a live stream. Sony has now been promoting this a little bit, and hopefully it's a good showing for Bungie's sake. So I don't know that I have any interest, but when I went to all the game websites today, there was a screenshot of like this weird-looking fox, and I don't understand the significance of it. I didn't watch any of the videos. I didn't even really look at the promotion of it, but I don't love the way that looked. That screenshot, whatever it is, it didn't really speak to me. I don't know if that's just placeholder image or what. I don't know. So, Bungie Marathon. I'll type it in. We'll see what it says here. I think the one trailer looked kind of cool. There it is. The stakes are high for Destiny's 2 next shooter on Inverse, but it's like this weird pink. It looks like a costume or something. I don't know what that... Do you see the thing I'm talking about? Do you see it online?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know if it's a cat, maybe? Like a mechanical cat? Maybe it's like a companion character?
I mean, I think it might be part of a video, but man, I'm gonna hit play. You guys are gonna hear this maybe briefly. I hope you don't. Okay, I don't think it's coming through the audio. It's the amateur. All right, I muted the audio. It's a save the date trailer, and The graphic style is kind of cell shaded looking. I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a mix of cell shaded with like some hyper realism. Like some of these rafts and stuff look nice. I'm trying to see what the hell this Fox thing is. I can't fast forward it. It's we've got less than a minute before it's over. So just give me 1 second. Looks like people are getting shot. There's blue blood getting squirted everywhere. The graphics do look nice. It's clean looking. So the person dies, and I see the thing in the distance, this little fox-looking thing. And it looks like it's going to pounce on the dead character. And it's running up to them. It's looking at them. It's smelling them. What is it? And it's like in their face. It's kind of cute. It's got digital eyes. I don't know if it brings...
It's acting like a cat.
Yeah. Does it bring him back to life or something? It doesn't even say. It's just... It must be like your owner or something. Your pet. Maybe you have pets in Marathon. I don't know. It came up and found you.
I'm really interested. I'm interested in the game, and I'd like to see what they're going to say about it. Mm-hmm. But if it's an extraction shooter, it's not something I'm going to play, probably.
Yeah. I just wonder, what they're going to show. It looks like they're ready to show some gameplay. So if you guys are interested, April 12th, right around the bend. Little marathon action for everybody. Next news point. Horizon Zero Dawn. We know it was gonna be a TV series, but there were some creative issues while they were developing it, and it got canceled. As a result, this intellectual property, this Sony property, is now going to be re-envisioned as a movie. So no longer are we getting a Horizon Zero Dawn TV series, but we're going to be getting a Horizon Zero Dawn movie. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess a movie would grant budget to be able to do would do to make it good. But personally, I feel like, and I mentioned this in the past, like to me, the only way that this works is for them to almost do like a prequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, like before it fast forwards into the future, kind of like a Terminator 3 kind of thing, where the movie ends with like apocalypse happening. So like all the events leading up to it, where everything is still sort of normal, and it's not like these giant dinosaurs and all the CG shit, and like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I get that that's probably not what's going to sell. So they're probably going to do it like Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's going to just be, 99% CG. Either that, or they're going to have some pretty fucking gnarly practical effects. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like super stoked about it, but I'd be interested in watching it. I think that Until Dawn movie's coming out soon.
Yeah, April 25th.
That looks interesting. I mean, they've been pretty good about this stuff recently, so maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, this is so weird. Yeah, let me just interject with something weird that just happened to me. So freaking strange. I don't know how this shit happens. Are you familiar with the artist Owen?
Yeah.
Mike Kinsella. He does a lot of solo stuff. It's kind of sappy, but it's always really, really good. Coca-Cola has bottles now that have names printed on them, like Tony, Angela, Beverly, and I was at Sheetz and I saw one that just said Owen on it. So I had to take a picture of it, and then I put it on Instagram as a reel, and I had an Owen song play in the background. That's all I did. I didn't tag it Owen. I didn't do anything Owen. I didn't do anything. It got like 5 likes. Someone just liked it with a certified account, and his name is Kit Wakeley. Look this guy up. KITT WAKELEY. KITT WAKELEY.
Grammy Award winning American composer, producer, orchestrator, arranger, and musician.
He has worked with artists such as Aaron Lazar, Josh Groban, Sting, Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and others.
That's funny.
He has 84,000 followers, and he's following less than 5,000 people. My post had like 3 likes, and he was one of them. so I'm like, what the fuck is happening to my Instagram right now? It's so confusing.
You got pro skaters. You got fucking Grammy award-winning producers.
Well, that's not a bad sign that this guy saw
blowing up.
Maybe he saw a post I had about myself playing acoustic somewhere. And maybe he's now got eyes on this future Grammy Award songwriter. But isn't this so weird? How does that even happen? I don't know. He's a 2-time Grammy-winning award composer, producer, and artist. Maybe he got really into Owen and it just referred it to him. You know what I mean? It's possible.
Yeah.
He's 46, though, so he's like a few years younger than me. But I love it when shit like that happens. I shoot him a line. Like, yo, dude, I'm glad you liked my post. Let's work together. You know? It's never too late. Let's fucking write a song together, brother. That's awesome. Anyways, sorry. That literally just happened. Just occurred. That's just so weird. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that skate video yet. I got to write Rowan back and see if it's happening. I don't want to be too pushy, but it's been long enough now I could just do a quick touch and just be like, hey, what's any word? Anyways, let's move on to the last news point. There's only 3 news points, guys. We don't have a whole lot, but this is a big one. It's not even necessarily PlayStation related, but it does affect the PlayStation universe. Let's talk about the Switch 2, Jake. When the Switch 2 was shown off, the NDAs have kind of crumbled now. People were talking about what they saw. Some people got some hands-on with it. We got a price point. I did see that Hades 2, which is actually available early access for PC, is getting an early exclusive console release for Switch 2, which is kind of strange, but I mean, so be it, whatever. And that being said, we're going to talk about it, but I want to also put this in the conversation. It brings about the question for me. I think about Switch, and I think about Switch 2, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't view it as a console. It doesn't strike me as a console, probably because it's portable nature. It's just like the Steam Deck. I don't think of that as a console. I don't think of I never thought of the Vita as a console. I personally kind of look at it as a Switch, or the Switch 2 even, as like a secondary gaming device. Not so much as a console. Well, you definitely, it has a dock. It plugs into the TV. You can play it on your TV. It's very compatible in that way. It just never struck me as that kind of a machine. But it gets talked about like it's a console. It's Nintendo's only thing that they're doing. So it's a weird conversation to have. But let's hear your impressions from what they showed about the Switch 2. I didn't really dial in as deep as I probably should have, but I know the price point was a big issue with people talking about $80 Switch games, and the console itself being like what, $500 or something, and
$450.
Yeah, $450, and then. Not only that, it's getting some exclusives, especially with Hades 2, which is a big game. Everybody's excited about it. But let's hear your thoughts.
I was curious about this. Like, I'm always curious about Nintendo hardware because I do like their first-party games, specifically Mario, to a lesser extent Zelda. I don't really like the way that they've kind of done some of this stuff with the new open world Zelda stuff. Not that Zelda wasn't always open world, but like the way. Oh, to be honest with you, like my biggest thing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is like I can't stand the fucking weapon degradation shit. But Mario is always fun. Mario Kart's always fun. The new Metroid Prime game looks cool. But it's just like, I don't know. There's just so many games that, like, that like if I was gonna play them, they're also available on PlayStation. And unless I really want the handheld aspect of it, I'm not, really. I'm gonna play it on the console I already have, which is more powerful. I mean, the Switch 2 is not as powerful as a base PS5, as far as I understand.
Right.
I could be wrong about that. And so it's like my base PS5 or my PC are going to be better than this thing. So if I don't care about the handheld component, it doesn't make any sense. Now, I will say, Sarah and I are going on vacation in June, and I've been considering getting some kind of a handheld just for like the travel. And I was looking at maybe getting a Steam Deck just because I have so many Steam games already in my library just from over the years from my computer, like playing games on my PC here and there. But I was like, well, the Switch 2 is going to come out before that, and it'll probably be around the same price, maybe a little bit more. But then I like looked at the launch lineup for it, and I'm just like, I just don't care about any of these games.
Yeah.
Other than the new Mario Kart game. And it's like, well, I'm not going to spend $500 with a console and a game just to play Mario Kart. And it's like, yeah, I guess I could play a lot of the backwards compatible Switch games and stuff too. But like, it's like if I bought a Steam Deck, I already own a ton of games I can play on it. So I don't know. I'm still kind of undecided on the handheld thing. But I don't know that it's for me, and I don't know that it's ever going to be for me. Now, to be fair, like if you dock it, it is very much a console experience if you've got the Pro controller. It plays very much like a console. You have a controller-like console. You don't have to play like with the Joy-Cons. Mm-hmm. You can have like an actual controller. It seems like it's going to, play games a lot better than the Switch 1 did in terms of like its performance and stuff. Like I think I heard that one of my biggest gripes about Tears of the Kingdom was it just ran like shit, even though people are like, they're all fucking, with Stockholm syndrome being like, oh, this game, it's a smooth 25 frames a second. It's like, no, it fucking runs like shit. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like for 25 frames a second, maybe it feels a little bit smoother than other games playing like shit, but it still plays like shit. And so like that game is going to be 4K 60 on Switch 2, which is like, or maybe it's like, it's 4K 60, like 1080p 120, which is pretty great for that game. But I don't know, man. I just like I want somebody else to buy one that I can borrow it for a week or two to play like the new Mario game or something like that. I don't necessarily know how much I really want to own a Nintendo console anymore. Especially when I could buy, like if I do decide to get a Steam Deck, I could put an emulator on that and play like all of the fucking Nintendo games I could ever want. Not that I condone that in any way. I'm just saying that it's something that is possible for people to do. So I don't know. I'm sort of like, I think it's cool that they're doing it. They need the hardware refresh. I kind of think it's cool that they have like the mouse support and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't know that it's for me.
Right. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just it doesn't really speak to me at all. I mean, I know it's a bigger screen. It's got the bigger. Everything's a little bigger. The screen's not an OLED, but it's supposed to be nice. It runs at a faster refresh rate, like you were saying. The price point, $450. Phew, for a couple $100 more, you have a PS5 Pro. You can have actually at this point, you could probably have an okay gaming computer. For a couple $100 more. Shit, that's almost. I don't know, man. This stuff's not going to get cheaper, especially with the way the economy is right now, with inflation and then now all this tariff stuff that's happening. There was an announcement about the Switch 2 pre-orders actually being delayed in the United States on account of these tariffs. So that was an interesting news point that came across the wire. They're not even opening up pre-orders, I don't think, for the U.S. right now. But I mean, so it's just interesting. Lots of changes coming our way in the country. I think we just got to figure out financially where our money can be best applied. The stock market's really far down. I don't know shit about any of this stuff, but I mean, every news story is just saying stocks are down. We could be heading into some kind of a recession or something. Everybody's worried about this kind of thing. This comes and goes all the time. It ebbs and flows. There's always concerns. There's worries. There's a toilet paper craze one year, and then there's, I don't know. Nobody has clean water. Everybody's buying bottled water another year. And it's like, I don't know. We've been really lucky to have had as much as we've had for so long that I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but I think right now people in general are going to be a little more, maybe, depending on your income, cautious with where you put your money. That's all. Until things kind of get cleaned up on this side of the world. But it just, $450 seems kind of pricey to me. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't look at it as a console. I mean, maybe that's punitive. Maybe it's not. It just doesn't speak to me like a gaming console, the Switch. It just doesn't. It's not my era. It's not what I come from. But that being said, that's all I had for the news. I didn't see any posts on Push Square about any of the new games coming out this week. Like you said, the Dark Pictures Anthology, or what's that game called? The Until Dawn movies, April 25th. I'm excited for that. I'm trying to think if I watched anything else or played anything else or anything's on my list to do. I still got to get back to Seventh Guest and beat that VR game. I got kind of far and I kind of hung it up for a little bit and keep bopping around. But this is the first show I've had in a while where I haven't really got much gaming in between, and we're getting closer to nice weather, getting stuff done around the house, doing, just being more active, watching the Pirates play, obviously watching Bosch. My gig season starts back up in May. Start playing more concerts on the weekends, so things are just kind of getting busy. And like I said, Jake and I both have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so just a lot going on. But we'll be back next week. But before I close out, Jake, I want to see if there's anything you want to chat about before we shut it down for the day.
No, I don't think so. I'm anxious to get back to playing a little bit more Robocop. I'm kind of glad that I don't want to say I found it. I mean, they just literally gave it to us. But I've just been kind of like, there's just not been much of anything that I've really felt like playing recently. Now, to be fair, I've had a lot going on, and so like my interest in games has been very minimal. But like, until May, really, for me, when we've got games like Doom and stuff like that coming out, and Metal Eden and some other things, it's just, I'm not saying there isn't anything to play. I'm just saying things that are speaking to me, that are dragging me in. The only thing that I could think of that I'm not playing is Atomfall, which I brought up, and it's like, if I want to pay for it, I can pay for it. But if I don't want to pay for it, it's like I play like the shittiest version on Game Pass, and I just don't know that I want to do that. So it's like one of those things where it's like I can get it for free, so I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
But the free version is the worst version, so I don't want to play it. So it's like, I don't know. So I'm just gonna play some more RoboCop, and then. Trying to think, there was something else that maybe I was gonna play. I don't remember, but hopefully we're gonna see some sunshine over the next week or so. Get back out there. Other than that, hope everybody's staying dry.
Yeah.
If you live south of Pennsylvania.
Man, I'm looking forward to nice weather. I need to get back out and start my running back up. I need to drop some little bit of weight. Start feeling better. I just the winter just wrecks me every year. No matter how hard I try to keep on the straight and narrow, it's so hard to do. We have long ass winters here, man. I just can't wait to get outside and put the running shoes on and go for a jog. It's just like I went for one so far And it was like a week and a half ago when we had a 60-degree day. And it hasn't been consistent because I can't get back out. So I'm kind of struggling with that. I think it'll help in every regard in my life right now, getting out and running. It'll just feel good, get back into a better mood, get the summer started up, try to get on the right foot. But yeah, man, I got to get outside. This weather got to fucking get nicer. Waking up to snow today sucked.
It's been this year has been a very long winter, way longer than we've had in the last probably 5 years, or at least in terms of its intensity.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it needs to go.
It's time. Yeah, it's time. It's overstaying its welcome at this point. All right, that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 372 of PS This Is Awesome PlayStation Podcast. We'll be back next week. All things, if everything lines up. And, yeah, we air every Wednesday. You might be listening to this earlier because you're a patron supporter. And if you are, thank you. And if you're not, get on the fucking boat. PS This Is Awesome.patreon.com. Or it's patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome. See, I screwed it up. That's why we don't have listeners. Anyways, have a good week. We'll talk to you later. Hopefully it's sunny where you're at. Like Contra, Call of Duty, and Call of the Sea. P.S. This is awesome.
This is awesome.